Ever so often, I'll stumble across an article talking about a rich mindset, which mostly offers advice on changing the way we think about money, and there are even several books on this topic. And typically, the general consensus is that having this type of mindset could help a lot of people get out of a financial rut, and that those who have this mindset, which obviously includes some rich people, also view the world differently and do different things with their resources. Now, granted, not everyone strives to be rich, and I know personally we prefer to live a more simple life, but if you're struggling to break a paycheck to paycheck cycle, or if you need to improve your overall financial health, managing your money like a rich person, even on a smaller scale, might help you get ahead. So after researching different traits and mindsets that are common among rich people, these are, in my opinion, the top ones that can help pull you out of a rut. So when it comes to your money, the first trait is to think about yourself first. And to be clear, this does not mean that rich people are not generous, because as we know, plenty of people with money will give to charities and they will also volunteer their time. But typically they are not careless with money. So before they give anything to anybody, they're going to consider first the impact this decision will have on their finances long term, and also what's in it for them. And some people might call this selfish, but it's actually a very smart move. And likewise, when it comes to your finances, you have to be smart and put yourself first, because if you don't, you could potentially make decisions that will have long-lasting negative consequences. And to give you an example, someone may want to borrow money that you really can't afford to lose, or they may want you to co-sign a loan, and it can get to the point where you could even feel guilty for not helping them or pressured into helping. And these decisions can really complicate your situation. So the bottom line is that you really want to put your finances first, and you don't want to do anything that could potentially jeopardize your financial well-being. Another trait is that some rich people believe that being rich is a right, whereas an average person often believes that this is a privilege. And I thought this was so interesting when I read it, because when I think of something being a right, the first thing that comes to my mind is usually a sense of entitlement or feeling as if you deserve something. And if you feel that you deserve something, this could potentially create a strong drive to achieve it or make it a reality. But on the other hand, if you don't think you're deserving, there's really no motivation, and you might not even try to make things better because deep down you don't believe that things can be better. And we can also tie this into our personal finances. I know personally, I think everyone deserves to feel financially confident, which obviously means different things to different people. For you, it can mean having a fully funded emergency fund, or paying off debt, or even just getting 1 month ahead on your bills. So whatever your goal, you really have to change your mindset. So instead of viewing not being broke as a privilege, view it as something that you deserve, come up with a plan, and don't underestimate the power of positive thinking. Another trait is that rich people teach their kids how to be rich. Oftentimes, these individuals will make it a priority to teach their kids about money, and they will often start at a young age. They teach abundance, money management, and they also instill in their children the belief that being rich is a right. But even if you're not in a position to send your kids out into the world with a safety net, having conversations about money when they're teenagers, or maybe even when they're younger, that really sets a solid foundation, which can then help them manage money as they become adults. Personal finance, as we know, is not taught in a lot of schools, so it's really the responsibility of parents to teach these lessons. And if you don't, they're basically going to learn about money through trial and error, where basically they make a lot of mistakes when they're young, and then they spend the greater portion of their young adult years correcting these mistakes. But if they know about saving money, managing credit, investing, that will really help them start off on the right foot, even if they don't have a lot of money. But of course, you can only teach what you know, so it's so important that you educate yourself too. Another trait is that they are action oriented. To put it simply, for the most part, a lot of rich people, they don't wait for things to happen to them, they make things happen. I've always felt that procrastination keeps a lot of people stuck in the same place, because if your money isn't right, and if you really don't know how to improve things, it's so much easier to just put your finances on the back burner and worry about it another day. But the reality is, your situation probably will not change until you take the first step, and ignoring problems about your money often makes the problem worse. So you really have to sit down, get to the root of the problem, come up with a plan, and most importantly, be patient. You have to give your finances enough time to improve, because in most cases, you didn't get into this situation overnight, so you're not gonna fix it in one day either. Another trait is that they are not afraid to invest, and to be honest with you, there isn't really a lot that needs to be said here, because for the most part, rich people, they understand that saving money will only take you so far. So as soon as they are able to, they are investing their money, whether that's in the stock market, funds, art, real estate, it really doesn't matter. They make it a priority to make their money work for them. And this is a mindset that I think a lot of people don't really realize or even think about. So even though it is important to have a rainy day fund or an emergency fund, because you do need immediate cash for emergencies, once you have enough cash tucked away where you are confident that you can handle situations that come up, you really need to start investing. And when I say investing, I'm talking about investing outside of your retirement account. And I know that that can be a little intimidating and scary if you are a newbie, but understand that there are a lot of ways to get your foot in the door that don't necessarily involve picking individual stocks. If you feel that that's not the right move for you at the moment, other options can include investing in index funds, mutual funds, or even ETFs. My advice is to put your fears aside and research your options, because understanding how different investments work is how you're going to become more comfortable. Another trait is that some rich people surround themselves with other rich people, and there are different reasons for this, some which are pretty obvious. Depending on a person's level of wealth, their habits and their lifestyle obviously doesn't work for everyone's budget. So for some people, there might be a tendency to choose friendships with people who are able to do things on their level. But that's not the only reason. Some rich people also believe that you are only as successful as those you choose to associate with. And while I don't think anyone should measure success by the size of their bank account, there is definitely a lesson to be learned here. If you are in a bad place financially, it is so important that you recognize not only situations, but also people who might be a trigger for you or who might have a bad influence on your money. Some people could care less about their own finances, so they are not going to encourage you or support your efforts to do better financially. They might go as far as undermining your efforts or even telling you that saving money or getting out of debt isn't necessary. So you really have to choose your company carefully and spend less time with those who don't support your financial journey. Another key difference is that rich people have multiple income streams. I read somewhere recently that the average millionaire has about 5 to 7 different income streams. Now, I am a firm believer in having multiple sources of income, and I feel that it is dangerous to only rely on one income source. Having multiple income streams can help you reach your financial goals sooner. You can build a bigger nest egg, and overall, there's just another layer of protection. But keep in mind that having another income stream does not necessarily mean getting a second or third job, because there are only so many hours in the day and you only have so much energy. So the key here is really supplementing with passive income streams, which is money you earn over and over again from work that you've already done, or money earned from something that doesn't require a lot of active work. And some examples might include selling a digital product or an online course, affiliate marketing, blogging, renting out your house, renting out your car, real estate, and other similar hustles. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't work, because you will, but once you get a passive income stream off the ground, you could literally make money 24 hours a day, even in your sleep. That's all that I have for you guys today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing. Here we talk a lot about personal finance. So if you like videos like this, I do post every weekend and sometimes during the week. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in a few days.